Hi everyone, I'm Bryn, and today we're going to talk about lighting for your self-produced videos. So lighting is another thing that can really make or break your videos. So I'm going to go over a couple of general lighting concepts that we use in video production, and then how you can apply those in a self-produced scenario. So what I cover is probably way more than you're ever going to need to know for self-producing, but it'll kind of help you understand and help you replicate that a little bit more at home. So the first concept I want to kind of go into is three-point lighting. And as the name suggests, that uses three different lights. So there's the key, the fill, and then the backlight. So let's start with the key. The key is your main source of light, and it has the most influence over your scene. So you kind of place it off to the side of your subject, and it illuminates one side of their face a little bit more than the other. So I have my key off here, and if you kind of see how the light's falling on my face, that's from the key. Next is the fill, and that's placed opposite of the key. And the purpose of that is if the key's creating a little bit too much shadow on one side of the subject's face, you can add that fill light to kind of balance that out and make it a little bit brighter. And then the third light is the backlight, and as the name suggests, it lights the back of your subject. It's also sometimes called a hair light, but the purpose of that is to really bring your subject off of the background a little bit and just create some more depth in the scene. So right now I'm set up in the spare room of my house to record. I'm using an iPhone, and I have two main windows in this room. And they're actually positioned pretty close to the way the key and the fill are positioned in that diagram about three-point lighting. So they'll actually work pretty well. But right now, as you can see, I'm set up kind of in front of this big bright window, and it just doesn't look very good. You've got some shadows on my face, I have some bad reflections in my glasses, that sort of thing. Just could look a lot better. If we flip around, you automatically see that the quality of the video has improved. So there's no blown out window behind me, you can see my face much better. There's not as much glare on my glasses. So just by using the two windows in this room intentionally, I'm able to improve the quality of my video and just kind of take it up a level. So I have two windows in here that I'm using as my key and my fill. So my key is on my left, and this window is a lot closer to my face, and it's just a lot brighter. So that's kind of acting as my key, and then I have another window on my right, and that's just kind of acting as my fill. It's got some blinds over it, just a little bit dimmer, but that's kind of filling in some shadows that are on the right side of my face. Another concept I'd like to talk about is bouncing light. And this is essentially where you take your main light source and you redirect it to a reflective surface. And this just creates a softer, more even light. And this is a great way to create a fill light if you don't already have one. And some great DIY ways of bouncing your light would be to use a white wall, a white ceiling, a white sheet, an aluminum baking dish. But the important thing is to try to find a white surface, or a silver can also work pretty well. Just kind of depends on what you're going for and what you want to do. So we have our plant here, and we are using a window as our main key light. You can see that light coming in on one side of the plant. And we're going to use a white sheet to bounce some of that light back onto the other side of the plant. So you can see how one side's a little bit darker, and if we add that sheet, you can see how that light bounces off of that sheet back onto the plant, filling in some of those darker areas. And you can do the same thing using the aluminum baking dish. This time I'm recording on my webcam, and I have my laptop propped up on some books just to get that camera closer to eye level and the shot composed a little bit better. But I'm lighting it in the exact same way that I lit the plant. So on my left side I have my window as my key, and then I'm using a sheet on my right to bounce that light and create a fill light. Thanks for watching, everyone. Below we've included some links to some at-home gear if you want to check that out. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.